Good afternoon, everybody. Calling to order the Rules Committee for Monday, June 22nd. We have Ms. Haley Evans from the Clerk's Office, Jill Rosberg from the Law Department, and Drusilla from our office. And if you would kindly call the roll, please.
Commissioner Ross?
Present.
Commissioner Durrett?
Present.
Commissioner Hill?
Here.
Commissioner Thompson? Commissioner Frazier?
Present.
Board members present.
Great, we do have a quorum. All right. I don't see that there are any amendments or additions to the agenda. Does anyone have anything? Okay, moving on. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting?
Motion to approve.
Second. I have a motion by Commissioner Ross, a second by Durrett. All in favor?
Aye.
Minutes passed. Thank you very much. We don't have anyone signed up for public forum. We don't have any discussion, consideration of any late additions that have been brought to my attention. If you have any now, let's hear them. No? Okay. Moving on to item number 6, discussion and consideration of amending Rule 1, Section N, Agenda, Subsection 1, to allow the Chair and Commissioner the ability to change the submission deadline when the meeting date has changed. Commissioner Dirk, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. If technically we could do 6 and 7 at the same time because they're amending the same rule in same section, just subsection 1, subsection 2.
Okay. I'm fine with that. The body's fine with that. All right, we will consider agenda items 6 and 7
Because they're both on the same page too.
Great.
So the first one just adds the language written in red. When the date of the commission meeting is changed from its regularly scheduled date, the chair may adjust the agenda submission deadline accordingly. I mean, that's just been our practice, but nowhere is it written in our rules. And we need to make sure it's written down and not just practice. And so that's all that is for specifically when we think of January and February, when we change those dates to like a Wednesday, we want to then be able to change our deadline to match that. That's all. And then the second one, this was recently put into effect. The draft language for an agenda item sponsored by a commissioner shall be submitted no later than noon on Tuesday preceding the third Monday of the month. I did add the language except honorary resolutions because sometimes we don't have that information until the very last minute. And so I wouldn't hate to have an honorary resolution be withdrawn just because the information was not received in time. And so that's all those two do.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention. I think those are both really good and they clarify the language where it's just really absent in our rules. No, the law department doesn't have any comments. Anyone else have any comments or discussion?
If none, I'll make a motion to approve both item number 6 and 7 that change Rule 1, Section N, subsections 1 and 2.
Second.
Discussion.
Yes. Second. Yeah, I'll second the motion. Discussion, Commissioner Hill.
Thank you. Is there, normally this would not be a problem. Is there any movement in there for asking for like a placeholder?
Well, the reason this whole rule was enacted is because essentially a placeholder was being added to the agenda with no language, and it just kept being postponed to the next meeting and then postponed to the next meeting and then postponed. So, I mean, technically it is a placeholder when you submit the caption.
So,
But if you don't get the language to Drusilla in time by this date, then it is withdrawn and you have to resubmit it.
okay, no later than 12 noon, the Tuesday preceding the third Monday.
So that way, when we have our agenda review meeting, the language is there. We're not voting on the actual 2. The 2 as a whole is already a rule. We're just voting on excluding honorary resolutions.
All right.
So the agenda review, we would still know that there's an honorary resolution coming.
Right.
We
We would still have a placeholder. This is just saying if we don't have the full draft language, it won't be withdrawn
And in previous
For a
rules,
resolution.
for an honorary resolution.
Oh, for an honorary
Yeah.
resolution. Oh.
It won't be withdrawn. But if we don't have, as the rule states, minus the new change, if we don't have the language by this time, it will be and it can be draft language, but something, not just a caption with nothing attached.
Okay.
It won't be, it'll, yeah.
and for honorary resolutions, we've already set the guidelines of what an honorary resolution can be, so it's not like we're gonna be surprised.
Correct. Correct, it's not policy, it's just, great job.
And sometimes these come in from departments
Right.
and they don't have the information by our deadline, and so the departments will then call the commission office and usually ask the chair, did you help sponsor to put it on the agenda? And so.
Yeah,
it just
and that's
needs a
one
little
thing
bit-
I'll bring up during discussion, or the end, when we're done.
Right, thank you.
Okay, we do have a motion and a second on the floor. Any more discussion? All right, I will call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
And it passes unanimously. Commissioner Gray.
Like what?
All right, number 8, discussion and consideration of amending Rule 6, Section E, honorary resolutions, proclamations, presentations, discussion items, ordinances, and resolutions to clarify the definition and proper usage of discussion items.
Okay, and this is also, well, I mean, we can do it, we'll do them one at a time, but it's the same page, for 8 and 9. So this adds a note, or an additional sentence to the end of the definition of discussion items. Currently, discussion items are defined as discussion items on the agenda may be any topic that a commissioner believes is important for the commission to discuss, but do not require, that's my fault, a vote of the commission and do not necessarily express the views of the commission as a whole. And then I added, because discussion items are informal in nature, do not require commission action, they may only be included on the agenda of an agenda review meeting. The purpose of this, of moving it to agenda review, is several. One, it does not require action from commission, and the whole point of our meeting is to take action on policy. And then number 2, discussion items have the potential to derail our meetings and and our ability to conduct county business. And so having it at the agenda review, which is more informal than our formal meeting, seems like the proper location to have discussion items. And happy to open.
Is agenda review, you mean the 3 o'clock
Yes.
optional meeting? Okay.
So you're saying discussion items should only be at agenda review?
Now, this does not take away other business, but it takes away discussion items that are not
Related to business?
correct from being held at our meeting,
Right.
or
Okay,
at
what-
the voting meeting.
Okay, what about, would a discussion item actually has to be added to the agenda, right?
Correct.
Okay, so we have other business, so if you had a discussion item,
And if it's helpful, we can go ahead and, other business has never been defined in our rules, so I have added a definition.
well, we still have July and August then, or July, July.
What?
As far as the time frame of when we can
Oh, yeah,
get these.
yes, these would go on, if they, whichever ones come out of this committee will be on our July agenda. And so, item 9, and it's on it's the very next thing on this section E, other business. Other business is intended for announcements, requests for future agenda items, scheduling matters, expressions of appreciation or condolences, or other procedural matters related to the business of the commission. Like, hey guys, don't forget our post-legislative conference coming up in Gatlinburg, blah, blah, blah. Or Commissioner Jackson never had a light right, and we're giving him one. Very, very short, quick whatevers.
Right.
This traditionally has been where discussion items have been added.
Okay.
And again, as we have seen, that is where it can derail us, our ability to conduct business, county business during our voting meeting. Because before we defined discussion items a few months ago, there was no definition of discussion item. So, yes.
Okay, so then for presentations, I'm not seeing in here that a commissioner can't give a presentation, correct?
For presentations cannot be given by a commissioner.
Okay.
If a commissioner wants to discuss something that is present, like a presentation in nature, that would be, they need to do it through a resolution, an ordinance, something.
Okay.
Because that's why we are there. We are there
So like an honorary resolution they could do, or just I'm trying to think, like if there was something. Now,
let me tell you this, our optional.
I mean, I understand what we're trying to avoid.
But also, and I understand what you're trying to avoid as well, our optional agenda review meeting is publicly noticed. It is a public meeting. It is a place to bring your discussion items. And it is a place where we review our agenda and decide what is county business, what can stay on consent, what needs to be non-consent, and we work through all of that. It's technically our workshop. We just don't take any action on anything, and with the nature of discussion items being those that we don't take action upon, that seems like the best place for those to take place.
Okay.
Not getting rid of them.
Right.
We're just moving it to where we can still have the ability to conduct county business concisely, but also give that opportunity for any commissioner who wishes to add a discussion item to discuss it, to bring it before commission.
Gotcha. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So will this be listed on the agenda for the optional agenda review discussion items? Or under, do I still put it under other business on that agenda?
We can, and that's why I put it on as a discussion for the second one of Rule 1, Section B, Order of Business, because that's typically where we put it. We could add just its own spot on
A permanent spot.
On the agenda review.
on the agenda review.
I think if we're defining it, it should be on the agenda somewhere. Do we need to include an optional agenda review?
Yeah, that's, if we need to clarify, if we need that language to, if that's, whatever we call it in our rules, I think we include the term optional, don't we?
Yeah.
Okay, then yes, we can add, optional. That was my oversight. And, we don't have to have a discussion item every agenda review meeting.
Right.
It's just still
But
providing.
it is, so if I wanted to do a presentation to this body, but have it as a discussion item, I would need to do it in agenda review,
Correct,
not in the regular meeting
correct.
where there's conflict.
Because when we have presentations on our agenda, those are reserved for county staff, anybody who's been invited, potentially that we do business with, a nonprofit organization. Presentations are by commissioners can be through ordinances or resolutions, debated upon. So they can be debated upon, or through a discussion item, and at this point, if this passes during the optional agenda review.
So basically, I read it as that we are further clarifying the definition, providing a little bit more structure. And what, to your point, this spells out not commissioners for presentations. So if you wanted to bring information in that kind of format, it would be under discussion items on the optional.
And the optional agenda review.
Right. For example, like when Commissioner Jay brought his presentation on double polls and all that stuff, had all of this been in place, that would have taken place at the optional agenda review.
And not, because we weren't taking a vote on it, we weren't.
Correct. It was just providing information.
However, had he brought in KUB, KUB could have done a presentation on double poles, and that would have been perfectly fine within these rules.
And he also could bring, or he, she, any commissioner could bring the information if it is an ordinance or resolution that
Yeah.
they're sponsoring.
If you're making a presentation for us to take action and make a decision on something, then it's
Then
perfectly
it's-
fine.
Correct.
Right, that's right. So you really have multiple opportunities to
Very
provide
much so.
information
Yeah.
if you want to present
Freedom
to
of
the
speech
body.
is still alive.
It is.
Yes.
It's just more clearly
There-
defined.
Right.
There's a time and place
Yeah, just
for
a little
everything.
bit of structure.
Right.
It's still, it's making it more neat and orderly,
Right.
Yes.
and I don't have to go to Regal to get a big tub of popcorn, so.
Correct. Maybe just a small one.
You could. I really like their popcorn.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't be sad about it.
So, item number 8 is that additional sentence on discussion items, and we can do it, and we're adding the term optional in front of agenda review meeting.
That's right. I'm looking for a motion. If discussion is closed, no more discussion? Okay, I will look for motion.
Go ahead.
Motion to bring forward is presented.
Second.
Second, I already have a motion by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Rawls. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Number 9, again, looking for a motion.
Well, I do
Or do you want more
want to make,
discussion?
well, all it says is, and I didn't touch upon, thank you, Madam Chair. I didn't touch upon the second sentence or read it that says, other business shall not be used for substantive debate, presentations, or discussion of matters not otherwise appearing on the agenda. So that also clarifies that this is not where we're going to put discussion items anymore. This is not where we're going to do presentations. This is for those quick, this is what's coming up, reminders, those kinds of things. Yes, ma'am.
Question, so in this caption, you have amending rule 1 in section B. Are we not, we're not gonna do
Well,
that?
that's where it lists the, did I even print it? No. Why would I do that? Because it would make sense.
Conflict of these rules with law.
What's that?
Section B.
It's the agenda, no, you gotta go all the way to the top. First, it's very first page.
Rules.
Because you're in rule.
Oh, gotcha.
Another. It's rule 1, section B. It lists the order of our agenda. So, call to order.
Convening the commission.
Yeah.
Board of Commissioners.
And I only put that because, and that was to be discussed, where it's, if you look at, towards the end, we have ordinances on first reading, then ordinance on second reading, then public forum, open topics, then other business, then adjournment. So I didn't know if we needed to amend this to list discussion items under, like if we needed to mark out other business for agenda review, have it, like how we needed to set this up. Because typically our optional agenda review agenda is the one we're gonna look at. But do we need to just permanently add the discussion item slot for agenda review only?
I was gonna say,
That's all. It was just so we could look at it.
do we need to consider an order of business for the optional agenda review as another section?
Yeah,
Rather
or
than,
that.
because this stays ordinance on the legislative agenda,
Mhm.
so we may need.
Yeah, I
this
was
is
just
a
saying,
law
if it does
department.
that, I just looked at it, because there's 1 is the order of business for legislative,
Yeah.
2 is the zoning agenda.
Mhm.
We could do a 3 for the
For
optional.
optional agenda
Yeah.
review.
I think
You just tell us what,
Okay.
I don't know how you want it, if there's any other changes other than adding discussion
I think that
items.
was clear.
I mean, we don't need, we could also remove devotional. We could remove Pledge of Allegiance. We could remove amendments to the agenda. And because, really, we're just going through it for the optional agenda review.
Yeah, we don't really follow any particular
Right,
format. The chair just opens it up, says who wants to talk about something.
Right.
Right.
So you could just say, just put a line in there that any discussion items like, well, I don't know. I mean, you've already said any discussion items would go on the optional review. And that's just, I don't think you need to say anything more about it. That's
Okay.
an informal meeting as it is.
Yeah.
That if there's a discussion item that's been requested, the chair should know that. Chair
And it
should
just
say,
goes on.
Commissioner X has requested we discuss this, so let's discuss this.
Yeah, okay. so we don't even have to change it if we don't want to,
I don't think so.
if we need to have a third option, okay. That's all, the only reason I put that in there was to discuss if we needed to change that.
So if there's a discussion item for the optional agenda review, I just listed under other business on the optional agenda review.
No, it would have to be its own thing, but,
Discussion item.
yeah,
I just slip it in there anywhere. Like I said, we don't follow a
Yeah.
formal agenda for that meeting, so you can just
So,
put on, the agenda discussion, note Commissioner so-and-so has requested a discussion item on this, and that will be heard at the optional agenda.
Yeah.
Just put it on the notice.
So you're saying we don't need to add a number 3?
You mean on this?
Maybe the order of business,
The
do
order
a
of
separate
business.
order of business.
Well,
just to
except
clarify.
that we don't follow the order of business
Yeah,
of
we
this,
don't.
this meeting, and we never have.
Yeah.
The commissioner, or Chairman Oster, opens up the meeting and says, who wants to talk about something?
Right.
That's it, that's the only,
Yeah.
it is an optional informal.
That's the point of the discussion.
yeah,
So if, if somebody has a discussion item, they just tell, put a bug in the chairman's ear, and the chairman says, want to talk about anything? No, nobody wants to discuss anything, then let's go to Commissioner so-and-so's discussion item. I don't think we need to overthink it. If we were following strictly an order of business to that meeting, then different matter, but we're not. We haven't, ever.
So we're clarifying where discussion or these items would be discussed or addressed.
Just
In
maybe somewhere.
In
section 8,
Yeah.
the definition.
Just
Okay.
somewhere in there.
okay.
Does the discussion, Madam Chair, does the discussion item need to be, given ahead of time? Since this is an informal
Well,
review,
at the optional agenda review, no.
so I'm just clarifying, so it's okay for Commissioner to say, oh yeah, this is something I wanted to discuss.
And then we're like,
I would think so.
Hang on just a
Yeah.
second.
Because it was like,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, because you may
Yeah.
bring something, and then that sparks.
Something else.
and then maybe you'd like time to prepare for my discussion item, so we can have a good discussion on that item.
We can always go to the next month.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
And you can always put it on the forum, I will be discussing
right.
Right.
blah, 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 at the optional agenda review, please come.
All right, just for clarification.
Yeah.
It's good by me. Sure.
So there was no changes to these definitions?
Not to,
Just
not to,
practical matter, oh, she said something.
not to rule 1 section B.
Okay.
So we don't need to take any action on number 9.
We
Well,
do.
the second part of it, I'll leave out the section 1B in the
Okay.
resolution.
Okay,
Yeah, because I didn't actually amend it, that was just more discussion.
gotcha. Okay, any more discussion on it? I will look for a motion.
We have one, right?
Oh, we did?
Do we?
No.
No.
No, that was the other one.
Yeah.
I'll
We
make,
didn't do them together, sorry.
I'll make.
Motion by Thompson, do we have a second?
Hill.
Second? Oh. I thought you
Alright.
said hell.
I thought she said.
Hell, fine, if you wanna make the motion, go for it, I don't have to.
We have a motion by Commissioner Thompson, a second by
Oh,
Commissioner Hill.
She really wanted to, she wanted me to have it?
Kinda like, I gotta do everything around here.
All right, all in favor? Aye, motion passes. All right, moving on to agenda item number 10 again. Okay, Commissioner York.
Thank you, Madam Chair. If you'll look at Rule 1, Section O, it lists our public forum, definition, practice, time limits, all, how do they register, all the things. If you look at the bottom of the second paragraph, it originally said, members of the commission and the Knox County staff members may have the privilege of asking questions of any person who addresses commission. I agree that still should be a thing, especially because of zoning, where we ask questions of members of the public there to speak. But I added a little cleaner definition or update. It's the next paragraph. Public forum is an opportunity for members of the public to share information, opinions, and concerns with the commission regarding matters of public interest. Members of the commission and Knox County staff may ask brief questions for the purpose of obtaining information and clarifying matters relevant to the issue under consideration. Questions shall be limited to clarification and shall not be, not sued, used for debate, argument, or commentary. Public forum is not intended to be a dialogue between speakers and members of the commission. The reasoning for this is to ensure that people who come to share their voice are not put on, are not cross-examined. If what they are saying goes against what any of us feel.
If they call us out by name, we don't then turn around and get
Point fingers at them.
Right.
Correct. Now, if you do, I want your honest opinion if you feel like this language would accomplish that goal. Or do I need to make it a little bit tighter?
From what I read, I think it does because it's just for information or clarification.
Uh-huh.
I think there's a little gray area and you could come back at somebody from the public and say, well, what do you mean by that? Because, or whatever. You could probably dig at them too. If they dug at you, there's probably an opportunity to dig back, but I don't know how you
cross-examination or, well, I did include debate, argument, or commentary. So,
I mean, if you're looking for an argument,
I don't know if
you clarify that here.
I don't know if you can get there.
The chair's discretion always allows for the chair to say, perhaps,
Shut up.
no, Commissioner Durrett, you and the public speaker should resume this after the meeting.
Yeah.
Well,
And just kind of,
as a matter of parliamentary procedure, the way it should happen, if somebody is, with any of these rules, a member should, as a point of order, say, I believe that this discussion is out of order because it violates this. And then the chair rules on that. And then if the body doesn't like it, you can challenge the chair and a majority vote can overrule the chair and then whatever can happen. That's the way it ought to work. It doesn't normally work that way. But I think when you rely on the chair exclusively to rule in or out of order a discussion, you're putting way too much pressure on the chair and way too much authority on the chair. It really is more a member of the body should make a point of order saying, I believe this discussion is out of order. Then the chair rules, and then the body can either accept that ruling or not accept that ruling. That's the way the procedure is supposed to function.
what with it remaining as it was, where it says members can have the privilege of asking questions of any person who addresses the commission, that to me leaves it wide open. So I just feel like this gives us a little more as members to say, hey, this is out of point of order. I feel like this discussion is out of order because we're debating argument, it's argumentative or whatever.
okay. That requires all members to be very familiar with our rules.
Or they're going to look real silly when they get called out on it.
With that.
Is there any consideration of including where it says members of the public to share information, opinions, maybe even ideas and concerns? Or do you think that isn't?
I just put that in there as let's remember why we have public forum in the first place. Like, it is the public's opportunity to address their elected officials, period. We could even say that, but, I was just running out of order. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
We can add ideas if you want, but I'm just asking
No, I think
if
this
you
is
think
good.
it's necessary or if it's included in information.
I think this is necessary because we don't want to create, while we think, we sit in the meetings and we think it's easy to talk to us. Think about the audience. They are talking to elected officials and, and we're kind of up on a pedestal.
being at that podium is.
Being at that podium is intimidating.
Yes,
So
it is.
if we're attacking them in an exchange, it could create an atmosphere that people don't want to express themselves here or go. Every time I go, this happens.
Yeah.
Or somebody, this type of thing happens when people to speak out against, whatever.
Yeah, we want to encourage every opportunity for a citizen to address commission or any elected body.
Yeah, when we're,
Just stop.
when the public's engaging with us, we don't want them to feel like it's a combative environment.
Right.
For sure.
We may feel like we're getting attacked, but they should feel safe.
We're there to listen, and
Right.
that's it.
Pretty much.
Take it on the chin.
We listen and we don't judge.
And we don't want to
We
judge.
don't judge.
Do we need to add that?
We don't hurt people.
Okay. And so how, I know
I see
you
why you looking
mentioned
at
that
across the room.
it's really up
Judging the hell out
to
of me.
any member of the commission to raise the question of point of order and the discussion is out of order. That goes back to commission.
That's how normally a parliamentary body enforces its rules. A member who believes that a discussion is out of order makes a point of order to that effect, cites the rule, the chairman then rules on whether or not it's a valid point of order. And then if the person who's trying to do this does not agree with that, they can say, I move to challenge the chair's interpretation of the rule. And if you get 6 votes overturning the chair, then the discussion concludes. That's how the parliamentary procedures
Yeah,
work.
to your point, there needs to be some education. Of course, everyone will get a copy. I mean, it would go before commission and be voted. Hopefully that will open some discussion there.
Oh, I'm
Any
sure.
questions? Yeah, so hopefully we can address that at that. We'll educate and inform everyone who's not on the rules committee and who isn't here to participate today, so. Any more discussion? All right, so we do have a motion by Thompson, a second by Hill. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. All right. Number 10, discussion and consideration of amending Rule 1, Section O, public forum to clarify.
That's what we just did.
Oh, we just did that. I'm so sorry.
So maybe there wasn't a.
So there was not a motion and a second. I was still on number 9. I apologize. So number 10, I'm looking for a motion and a second.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Hill, a second by Thompson. All in favor?
Aye.
And all. And it is approved. All in favor. All right, any other business?
I did, Madam Chair, if you don't mind,
Yep.
sorry to just totally hijack the meeting. Something that has been brought to my attention is, and it's actually taking place this month, on our agenda, to be added is an honorary resolution from Parks and Rec, recognizing July as Parks and Rec month. If you look at our definition of honorary resolutions, I think it might actually be on, no, I didn't include it, of course, why would I do that? It says honorary resolutions must honor an individual or organization, agency, blah, 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 blah. It shall be the responsibility of any commissioner requesting an honorary or memorial resolution to provide the commission office and the law director with such information, and that's all it says. It doesn't say anything about our county staff being able to add an honorary resolution. Does it need to? This might be more of a law department. Because it doesn't say that that it has to be sponsored by a commissioner. I think previously it did, well, I don't know what happened, but we updated our honorary resolutions last year. And so no longer does it say that it has to have a commission sponsor.
You know, my feeling is you're well served by requiring anything that goes on the agenda to be sponsored either by the mayor or by a member of the Chatham County Commission.
Okay.
Otherwise, I mean, anybody could just start throwing things on the agenda. I'll throw a resolution on there. Why not, you know?
Right.
You want to control your agenda. And the way to
Okay.
do that is to control who can put things on the agenda.
I would say that those would need to be approved by the chair.
Mm-hmm.
Which in this case it was because it was to be added. So is that something we would need to?
And if it's from Parks and Rec, it's effectively from the mayor,
Right.
right? I mean,
Right.
the mayor or anybody who's under the mayor you just don't want,
We
You're
would
not
want the
careful.
mayor's approval though, if we were using his name
well,
before.
right, but I can't imagine somebody who works for the mayor would put a resolution on the agenda without the mayor's at least explicit or tacit approval.
I mean, I could see that happening.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, it's possible, but I think that person might face some repercussions.
Oh, well, of course. I'm not saying it wouldn't come without repercussion, but
But best practice, frankly, is that every resolution should have a commission sponsor. Because this is your agenda. This is not anybody else's agenda. So even if the mayor wants an item on it, the mayor should probably go to a county commissioner and say, would you carry this for me? That's the way the governor doesn't sponsor legislation. The governor finds a state senator or
He
state,
often does that.
right, and, so
He'll call
So,
the chair and say.
really, if you want to control your agenda, you should make sure that a county commissioner sponsors everything that comes onto the agenda.
except for, well, it can't be anything because, the sheriff has his resolutions and community development has their resolutions.
They do, and we allow them to do that.
Okay.
But
The honorary.
you don't
Not
you don't have to, and it just seems to me that this commission should not allow non-commissioners to kind of lead them around and put things on the commission agenda. But this is purely policy. I mean, we have always allowed the mayor's office to put things on the agenda. That's always been the case. If you want to keep, it's never really been a problem. So, there's maybe no reason to address it.
Okay.
But if you required a commissioner to sponsor every resolution, it would certainly give the commission more authority over its own agenda, which arguably it should have. But that's not a legal position. That's just, who controls your agenda.
Do as he said.
Okay.
But I mean, the mayor's been putting things on the agenda for as long as I can remember, so it's not like it's new.
So would that impact the definition of ordinances, resolutions?
No, it's just a question of how things get on the agenda. That's it. And you could make a rule that says that a commissioner has to sponsor, or just leave it like it is, because like it is. I mean, you want to be careful about solving problems that aren't problems.
Right.
Right.
Well, that's the because of this month, the one that was added, it just came up. What do we do when? Because it's rare, and typically I think we've done a Parks and Rec one before, but it's rare. So it was just, hey, this has happened. Does it need to be addressed? Because it's not explicitly written anywhere in honorary resolutions that it has to be sponsored by a commissioner.
So you're saying it's more administratively
It's just
regulated than it is procedurally?
right. It's just a question of how tightly do you want to control how things get on your agenda. If you want to let county departments under the mayor place things on your agenda, that's fine. There's nothing legally wrong with that. It would become a problem if people just start like going rogue and throwing things at the commission that don't have the mayor's. I can't imagine that happening. It could, I suppose, but I do think that, we have to remember, we don't have civil service.
Right.
We are an at-will. So if somebody were to put something on the agenda that the mayor didn't like, who worked for the mayor, I would expect that person to be clearing out their office pretty quickly. So.
Okay. Just bringing it up.
Yeah,
We
that's
don't
good
have to-
discussion.
Well, it can always be revisited.
Yeah.
If it becomes a problem.
Correct.
Or something were to change.
And that's what this committee is for, is just consistently review, assess, revise, things change, and you have to revisit your rules and update them as
Correct.
needed. And I think we've done a lot of good work on this committee with the rules over the last, at least this last year or two, yeah, for sure, yeah. So, all right, well, that was a business. To schedule the next meeting,
We've been meeting quarterly?
we're only required to meet quarterly, but we've been meeting more often than that because we have had items that we
Probably addressed.
reviewed.
might be rolled out at the moment. I don't know if I can get
As I say, I mean, you may not need another one until,
do we wanna just pencil one in and then? What were you gonna say?
No, go ahead. No,
I was just gonna say, do we wanna just pencil one in and then cancel if we don't need it?
maybe August or September, there'll be reorg, so after September 1st.
Put the one in July.
Well,
Or
we've got
August.
still. Yeah, I feel like,
July, so.
Do we have one scheduled in July?
you never know. Somebody may have a great idea. Say, hey, we need to
we
do
already
this.
have
and
one
this.
scheduled on
You never,
July 20th.
you never know when something might come
We
up.
do,
We do.
July 20th,
Yeah.
We already have one scheduled at July 20th.
Oh, we do.
Oh, do it?
Let's just keep it.
We can always cancel if
Right.
nothing comes in. Okay.
We don't need it, we don't need it.
Okay, everybody write that down, Monday, July 20th, 2 p.m. Right here. Do we have any other business to come before the Rules Committee? If not, we
July
are,
20th, you said?
July 20th, 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Right
Yep, I got it on my calendar.
That was what we scheduled last time and then we moved it up.
All right, we are adjourned.
Thank you, everyone.